Howdy guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to a recap of night number 33 of Big Brother season 25. A great Labor Day to all of y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. A great Monday to you as well. A quick shout out to all of those who work in this country, especially to those who are having to work today, first responders, etc., who don't get to celebrate this holiday. But happy Labor Day to all of y'all. All right. Lots of conversations that took place yesterday. Oh my gosh, a lot of conversations. Not so many at night. Felicia's just driving to get these people in bed, kind of working a little bit. So we didn't have anyone staying up incredibly late, but we had a lot of conversations before that. So I'm going to start a little bit earlier in some of these recaps for last night and yesterday and talk about as much as I can. A lot of conversations. I had to filter a lot of stuff out as well. I tried to hit everything, the highlights. Here's the thing, as a quick summary. We've got, well, let me do this first of all. We've got Cameron and Red on the block, if you recall. Also, Cameron won the veto competition. So even though Felicia tried to suggest otherwise, Cameron is going to use the veto on himself, pull himself off the block, which means that Jared is going to have a renomination, put someone else up on the block alongside Red. That's what all the conversations were yesterday and last night. It's all about who do we put up instead? And here's a summary of the entire evening and 100 different conversations. It looks like right now, Jag is going to go up alongside Red. Jag is going to go home. That's the crux of it. And then a lot of discussions after that. So let's get right into it. All right. Again, all the conversations were about who to put up as a pawn, who to send home this coming up Thursday. We had yesterday morning, as soon as Corey is awake, within just a few minutes, Sari is already warning Corey that Jag is pulling people to his side. You're going to see throughout the events, Sari really is big on getting Jag out the door. Even though she's the one that suggested to Matt to go ahead and save Jag, she's decided that's not actually going to work so well for her. So she is already telling Corey that Jag is trying to pull people to his side. Corey, a little bit later, is in talking to Izzy and Jared and Matt. And Jared's saying, look, here's the thing. If Jag was to stay, he might start working with Red and Cameron. We can't let those guys have the opportunity to pull back together and start working together. Now, remember, Red and Cameron had a little bit of a falling out because Red was told that Cameron had basically quickly thrown him under the bus. And Jared told that because Jared was telling Cameron that he was the pawn, telling Red that he was the pawn. This is before Cameron won the veto, but the damage is already done. Cameron and Red not really on best terms with each other. But Jared is saying, look, just because that's the case right now, if Jag stays, he may pull those two back together. We've got a strong group on the other side if we do that. So Jared at this point also pushing to send Jared out send Jag out the door. All right, we've got Sari and Izzy and Felicia in the storage room. Sari is mentioning that Matt wants America gone. Matt's been pushing all day to get America out the door as opposed to Red or anyone else. She's saying, yeah, Matt wants America gone, and that I may be leaning that way as well. Remember Sari talking about Jag? Well, now maybe she's leaning more towards America. But Felicia is saying, look, no, Jag's a snake. He has to go. I feel like that was Felicia's favorite saying is, insert name, he has to go. Doesn't matter who it is. Insert name, she has to go. Felicia thinks there's a lot of people that have to go. But yeah, Sari's saying that maybe she's going to lean towards America. Felicia saying, no, it's Jag. He's a snake. He has to go at this point in time. Felicia is saying, though, that the Red Cameron relationship is already busted. They don't have to worry about that. It's all about Jag at this point in time. So we've got that. Izzy is thinking that Jag probably is the most dangerous. And that he had also, she's worried because he supposedly had also said that he trusts Sari and Izzy the least of this side of the house. So, yeah, that's not working real well for Izzy either. You got to be careful about everything you say in the house, don't you? All right, we've got Matt and Bowie talking. Matt's thinking that he probably could work with Jag if Jag stayed in the house. Again, he wants America out the door. Bowie is saying that Jag wouldn't put up her or Red or Matt if he stayed. So yeah, maybe Jag would be okay if he stuck around. He's not going to come after us. Bowie's saying that she actually trusts Jag. And Bowie's also agreeing with Matt that, yeah, America sounds pretty good. Now remember, Bowie has been working with So really with Red, a little bit with Cameron, much more so with Red, but she certainly doesn't want Red out the door. So if she can find someone else to go instead, such as America, she's going to be all for that. And we really haven't seen America and Bowie Jane working together anyway. So yeah, she's good with Matt's plan to get out America. All right, we've got Matt and America talking. Kind of awkward, isn't it? America's pushing for Bowie Jane, and Matt is saying, of course, he's not going to say, no, I want you out. But he's not agreeing to Bowie Jane either. Matt is telling her, saying, nah, it's Jag. Jag is who everyone wants out the door at this point in time, America. All right, we've got Cameron and Corey talking. Cameron is talking about the sheets. That's kind of weird. Hold on a second, guys. Gotta go back to this. Well, all right, here we go. All right, so Cameron is talking to Corey. Cameron's talking about, because they're all staying in the same bedroom, the scary bedroom. Cameron's talking about the sheets were rustling while Corey and America were sharing a bed together. And Corey's saying, like, oh, are you watching this or something? And he says, no, I'm just a light sleeper. He says, besides, how can you sleep when there's a porno going on over in the corner? It's just kind of a creepy comment to be making from Cameron. But yeah, Cameron's making fun of Corey and America sharing a bed together. All right, so we've got Blue and Felicia talking. Blue is saying, look, if we get out Jag, that we're just doing Cameron's dirty work. Really, Felicia, you really just want to do what Cameron wants us to do, of sending Jag out the door? It's what Jag wanted last week. So she's trying to get Felicia to steer away from here a little bit. So she's mentioning that. Blue is saying, look, how about we get the 7 deadly sins? Although they aren't calling it that anymore. They're just saying the 7. Don't call it by your number. You get tired of me hearing that, right? Or saying that. Blue says that she wants to get the 7 deadly sins in a room together. Obviously minus Jag, since he's target number 1 right now at least. But she said, I'd like to get everyone else together and talk about options. What can we do here? Felicia is following up by saying, look, Corey had said that Jag was trying to put together a group of Jag and Corey and America and Cameron. And I think that was mentioned at one point in time. But Felicia is certainly using that as more ammunition of why Jag is a snake and Jag has to go. All right, we've got Corey telling Jared that he is Corey's final 2. That Izzy and Suri are his final 4. That's who he wants to work with going forward. So Corey and Jared, good terms. Yeah, for right now, maybe not so much a little bit on down the road. Remember, America's been kind of a wedge between these two guys in terms of what they do with her and trust and all of that. All right, Corey is thinking, talking to Jared and saying, look, I think Red is the bigger target is a bigger threat right now, bigger threat and bigger target than Jag. But he says, but you know, Jared, you are the HOH. I'm telling you personally, I think that Red is someone we need to get out, but you're the HOH, and I'm going to defer to you because of that. So Corey's kind of backing off. I think he's realizing he may not have the votes or the sway to make the decision right now. He'll throw in his input, but he understands that Jared is the one who wants to be constantly told, you're in charge, you're the one making the decisions. So Corey's playing right along with that, saying, nah, Jared, you're the king, I defer to you, I'm telling you what I want, but it's your decision at the end. So he is mentioning that. Jared's talking about a scenario of Red and Jag staying this week while America goes home. So he's now throwing out yet another option. Corey, as much as he defers to Jared, doesn't like that at all. He's saying, nah, that makes 0 sense, Jared. I'm all for you, but nah, that's not making sense to get out of America right now and leave those two guys here to work together and do whatever they're going to do. Corey is wondering why no one wants to put up Bowie Jane right now, that she seems like an easy choice for everyone, especially if they want Red out the door. I think people just forgot Bowie Jane's even in the house right now in a lot of ways. Based on strategic play and her participation and all of that. Now, hey, I shouldn't criticize. If Bowie Jane wants to float, a lot of people have gone a long way with floating, but at some point you have to start playing the game, and I think Bowie Jane probably is at that point. All right, we've got Blue and Izzy talking. Blue is saying that Jag is feeling like his 7 deadly sins alliance, his 7 alliance, is not consulting him before making decisions. that ought to be raising some alarm bells in Jag's head, you would think, right? He's recognizing he's not really part of the decision making. But Blue and Izzy are both worried about Felicia saying things that she shouldn't, that she's a little too open mouthed with some of her conversations and such. And the other thing that they're both complaining about is that Felicia just keeps changing her target. Blank has to go, but that blank name keeps changing quite a bit with Felicia. All right, we've got Cirie and Jared and Corey talking. Cirie is saying that Cameron wants Jag out now. Of course he does. He wanted Jag out last week. He wants to be able to say that his HOH meant something. So now he wants Jag out the door, certainly. Plus, after putting Jag up, he knows that Jag is now going to be coming after Cameron if he gets a chance. So yeah, Cirie saying Cameron wants Jag out now, obviously, and that Jag is trying to set up her and Izzy. That she's just not having the good feelings about Jag at this point in time, that Jag's going to be coming after them if they get a chance. All right, after Corey leaves that conversation, so now we just have Jared and Cirie. Jared is telling Cirie that if they keep Red, that she needs to get Red to back off on Corey. That Red's kind of been going after Corey a little bit, certainly going after Cameron as well, going after America as well. He said you need to get Red to chill down a little bit and stop, because it's really affecting Corey and our group and he and I and all that. So you need to get your guy chilled down a little bit. He also is saying that if they do vote out America, Corey's going to be done with them. That he just doesn't see if they vote out Corey's girl, that Corey's still going to want to work with them in heart, even if he says something. So he's saying, just beware. If America goes, that's the repercussions that we're going to get. All right, Cirie is warning that Matt might be upset if because he wants America out, that if they don't go after America, then yeah, maybe Corey's going to be upset. But if we don't do it, now you're going to have Matt upset. So it's not easy either direction. Cirie's finishing all this off by saying, at the end, it has to be Jag. It needs to be Jag. Not America, not Red. It needs to be Jag. We'll see how that goes throughout the evening. All right, we've got Cameron and Jared are talking. Cameron seems to also be pushing for Jag to be the target. He's even saying that he's willing to lay off Izzy this week if it means getting Jag out the door. And Jared says, well, if you're willing to lay off Izzy, then I know you're sincere and serious when you're talking about sending Jag out. Cameron is complaining that Red broke up with him, and Jared is implying that the Jag is to blame. I think Cameron said something about, Red just suddenly, broke up with me, and Jared saying, well, right before he did that, who was talking to Red for 2 hours? It was Jag. So hint, hint, hint there, Cameron. All right, we've got Jared and Felicia talking. Felicia's already thinking to the week ahead. She doesn't think she's going home this week, but she's not. So she's thinking ahead. She's saying, look, who do we need to put on the block next week against Cameron? Cameron won Veto, so he's not going home, no matter how much she tried to get him to use it on Red instead, the Veto. So she's saying, who do we put on the block next to Cameron? And Jared's saying, look, let's put America up next week. I've got no use for her. We'll put her up next to Cameron and send Cameron out the door. They're then talking about a possible backdoor of Cameron next week using America, and either Bowie or Corey would be the other one that went up alongside America, and then they use a Veto backdoor Cameron, so it doesn't really matter. Except, these backdoors, I get it. You use a backdoor so someone can't compete that's a strong competitor. It's that much more likely you get them out the door. You're also creating more enemies as you keep putting all of these pawns on the block instead of putting your target right off the bat. So it goes both ways in terms of the backdoor strategy. All right, we've got later, they talk about the backdoor of Cameron. Felicia later saying the same thing to Nicole and Matt, trying to get them on board also. We've got Jared talking to Blue. He's all upset because Cirie had told Jared that Matt was going to, that Matt had used the, let me start over, because we saw a little bit on the TV episode as well. Jared's upset because Cirie had told Jared that Matt was going to use the power to save Jag, right? Well, now Jared had then told Jag and made Jag promise not to tell anyone. Well, Jag went right back and told Cirie that Jared had said that Matt was going to use the power, or implied that Matt was going to be using the power. And so then Cirie called Jared out, all upset that he said something that Jared had said he wouldn't say to anyone else. Well, Jared told Jag, and then Jag told Cirie. So Jared is upset that Jag ended up telling Cirie after he'd promised Jared that he wouldn't. Jared's all upset that Jag got him in trouble with his mom. And so now Jared's saying, I can't trust Jag. Jag's a liar. He promised, and then he turned right around and didn't do it. I'm upset with him. All right, we've got America and Cameron talking. America's saying that she felt good about Cameron until last week, but she said that she's heard that he was saying her name to be put up. Yeah, that's true. And now she's saying that Cameron is different to her face. America's asking if he had suggested her name after he won Veto, asking Cameron this, and he's saying that, I don't know. But he said, I got a different plan anyway, and that's again not to go after America, but to actually backdoor Izzy. So he's telling America, saying, I've got a different plan. Don't worry about it anyway. But America's certainly worried about Cameron and the way he's been treating her. Hopefully y'all can still hear me with the boat in the background. All right, we've got Izzy has decided to talk to Cameron. Remember, these two are like oil and water, but Izzy's decided to talk to Cameron. They're acting nice to one another. They're neither one is sincere. They're just saying what they think the other one needs to hear. At one point, Cameron tells Izzy that he loves her and that she's good. Later, Izzy tells Sari, and Felicia says, yeah, he said he loved me. I sure didn't say it back, and they start laughing about that. So they have a talk, but they're still mortal enemies to some degree. All right, we've got Matt and Jared and Blue. Jared's complaining that he can't compete next week and that Matt and Blue haven't won anything so far to help him out, to support him. Jared, you got one victory. Don't be getting your head too big just yet. But he said, Blue, Matt, it's y'all's time. Y'all got to be winning something here. I can't do it all myself. So he's complaining about that. Jared's saying he does not want to make the final decision about who is the renom, who is the target this week, because he does realize that he's vulnerable for next week. So he's a little bit worried about that. Matt is saying, look, if America goes home this week, which is what he wants, if America goes home this week, I'll nominate Red and Jag next week. Once we get America out, I'll take care of the other ones. Don't worry about it. But for right now, I want America out the door. All right, Matt is not wanting Jag to go home this week. He just used his power on Jag. So he's saying, I do not want Jag going home this week. Hint, I want America gone. He also is saying, look, I can control Jag. Jag owes me. I saved his life in the game. As a result, he owes me. I can control him. Don't worry about Jag this week. We'll do it next week. All right. Jared is saying that Jag keeps saying he doesn't trust Sari or Izzy, and he's saying you just can't do that. He's telling Matt, he says, look, I feel safe. I don't think that Jag's going to put up myself or Blue. I'm good on that. But the fact that he said you can't trust Sari and Izzy, and I am working with them, you can't do that. That's why Jag probably needs to go home right now. All right, we've got Jared complaining that it should be easy to nominate people to take care of this week, but people that he is aligned with are annoying. Specifically, he's annoyed that Corey would be upset if he nominated America. How dare Corey be upset? How dare Corey be annoyed if Jared wants to send home Corey's girl? Yeah, imagine that. So yeah, Jared's upset, annoyed that people aren't just going along with what Jared wants to do. All right, Jared is saying that yeah, they could send Bowie home. That wouldn't create a lot of waves, but that would be a waste of his HOH. And he's saying, look, Matt, it's going to be either Red or America or Jag going home. Not sure who, but of those three, it's going to be one of those three going home. And Matt again saying, yeah, okay, well, how about America? I'm all for that, Jared. And Jared at this point seeming to agree, saying, well, okay, I could maybe be okay with that. We'll see how that goes. All right, we've got Felicia and Sari and eventually Matt are in the HOH room. Felicia saying, Jag has to go again. And then next week she's saying, well, Jag has to go. And then next week we'll put up America and Corey. We'll backdoor Cameron. I think this is just a repeat of another conversation she's already had. But she says, I'm sticking to this plan this time. There's no changing. I'm sticking to this plan. This is what we're going to do. Okay, I'll believe it when I see it, Felicia. All right, Felicia is now talking about how sneaky Corey is. She's saying, look, he's monitoring who comes to the HOH room. He sits upstairs in that second floor game room area and listens to conversations in the kitchen. Oh yeah, okay, so he's playing the game. During my season, Tommy kept track of where every person who came into the HOH room. Tommy slept for a lot of times in the outdoor bedroom so he could monitor who was getting up in the middle of the night to go have meetings. you know, it is what it is. Corey's playing the game. Corey's playing the game better than a lot of people in this house are right now. But as a result of that, Felicia's saying, Corey has to go. I don't know if she means this week, but soon. So Corey's also on Felicia's target list. All right, we've got Jag still focusing on the sevens, the 7 deadly sins loyalty. He's telling Jared if he's HOH, Bowie, America, or Cameron are all fair game since they aren't part of the alliance. Say, I'm good with the alliance, so whoever I put up, they're going to be outside the alliance. Okay, Jared, just please keep that in mind. All right, we've got Suri and Jared checking in with each other. Suri is saying, look, Jag owes Matt, but if you get rid of Jag, then I think Matt will either go to me or to you. We should be able to grab hold of Matt as soon as Jag's out the door. And if Jag is gone as well, Suri is saying if Jag's gone, Blue is going to be just that much tighter with you, Jared. You should have her as your number one. So, so again, Jag makes the most sense for us going forward. Suri is saying that getting out of America is a waste for Jared. It doesn't really do anything for him, and that she just can't trust Jag right now. Jared is saying, I get it, but Red doesn't trust Felicia. And Suri is saying, good, I don't want Red trusting Felicia. I kind of like to see a little division. Suri and Felicia a little bit on the outside. Felicia I don't think knows that, but Suri a little perturbed with Felicia and some of the stuff she's been saying lately. So she doesn't mind the fact that Red maybe doesn't trust Felicia so much right now. All right, we've got Jared finally agreeing that, yeah, okay, I guess so. I'll go ahead and put up Jag. But he's saying, I'm not going to blindside him, though. I'm not going to do that to the guy. I'm going to tell him ahead of time. And Suri's saying, okay, if you want to do that, that's fine, but don't tell him until today. Don't tell him until right before the veto ceremony itself. He doesn't need to be hearing this right now and have him running around all night long. So she's saying, just wait until you tell him. Felicia at that point comes in, hears the conversation, says, Jag has to go. And then finally we got Jared talking about how Matt's going to respond because he thinks that Jag is loyal. And so if now he gets Jag out the door, maybe Matt comes on board with him or Suri, but he's not going to be real happy, which tells me Matt's probably much more likely going to come on board Suri over Jared, especially when Suri turns around and blames it all on Jared, as I think she's going to do. But there you have that. So it sounds like the plan right now is to send Jag out the door. All right, we've got America talking to Izzy. She's telling Izzy that her and Corey and Izzy are her main people, and she wants to start building something with Izzy in addition to Corey itself. Izzy saying, oh yeah, that's fantastic, and my main people are you and Corey and Suri and Jared. Us 5, yeah, these are my main people right now, America. So they're kissing up to each other a little bit. All right, we've got Izzy leaving and America goes to the HOH. Or Izzy leaves America and goes to the HOH to talk to Jared and Suri and Felicia, her people, and is saying that she's on board with sending Jag out, but she is worried that what if this is just a big plan by Red and Cameron? Now, are they really upset with each other? Is this just a big plan to save both of them at this point in time by creating all kinds of deflection and all of that? So Izzy is looking at, her paranoia is kicking in a little bit, as though it hadn't been in existence since day number 1, but she is worried about that. Suri is saying, look, I'm locked in on Jag. Yeah, is it possible that they're doing something that they could get back together? Perhaps, but I'm locked in on Jag at this point in time. And Jared's saying, look, Suri, if you change your mind, or Mom, if you change your mind, come and get me. Just let me know. And Suri's saying, nah, I'm not going to change my mind this time. Okay, we'll see. Maybe not. She seems pretty sincere. But she's saying she didn't change her mind now. It's going to be Jag. All right, we've got Nicole in the HOH talking to Jared and Felicia. Nicole, who hadn't had a whole lot of input so far in these conversations, she's saying she's okay with Red or Jag, either one going out the door. Way to just don't offend anyone at this point in time. I think Nicole's playing a great game, though, so I don't have any issues with that. But she's saying that if Jag does go up on the block, he needs to go home. Don't be putting Jag up there and then send Red out the door. That's not going to do anyone any good whatsoever. If he goes up, at that point, he has to go. She's also saying that, with regards to Red and Cameron, she's saying guys can kind of mend things out. They don't necessarily hold grudges the way, women do. She's saying guys can mend things together, and if they both stay in this house for a while, they very well could end up together again. So we do have to keep that in mind also, that they may work out their issues the longer they stay in the house. All right, we've got Jared saying that Corey had told him that if Red and Cameron and Bowie start working together, that they're going to be sorry that they didn't get rid of Red. So again, Jared's a little bit worried about that group also. Nicole is worried that Jag feels like he's alone, and she says if he thinks he's alone, he may hit out at any of us. If we keep him, who knows what an HOH will be, who he may go after if he really doesn't think that he can trust anyone in this house. But Jared is saying, look, Jag's not going to make a big move. He thinks he's part of this alliance. He's going to stick to the plan. Whatever plan we throw out there, Jag is not going to cause issues if Jag stays in this house. So he and Nicole, a little different opinion about what a Jag HOH would look like. All right, we got Felicia talking about Red, saying that he's very connected to Cirie, but not so much to Izzy. Felicia's recognizing this Red-Cirie connection. And again, Cirie's happy to have Red not so tight with Felicia, and she's a little bit worried about that as well. Feeds cut to Jared and Corey arguing at the pool table. We didn't see this whole conversation, but they certainly were heated in their words, heated in the tone of their words, I suppose. Not happy at all. And they're arguing. Corey is saying, look, Jared, you were really talking down to me, and I just don't like that. And they're kind of just staring each other down and not happy. Eventually, Corey says, look, everyone's watching us. We need to calm down. We'll work this out later. And then later, Corey talks to the cameras a little bit, and I think we got a little bit more about the conversation. But Corey and Jared, as much as they say, oh, final two, we want to work together and all that, they certainly do have their moments as well. All right, we've got Jared and Blue on the hammock. Blue is saying that America asked if Blue had told Jared that America was targeting Cirie and Izzy. So America came to Blue and said, look, did you say that I was targeting Cirie and Izzy? So Blue's reporting that back to Jared and saying, America isn't in a position to be pressing me right now. How dare she be pressing me like that? So yeah, Blue's feeling, as the first lady of the HOH, she's feeling a little bit of power herself right now. Jared is saying that, hey, personally, I want America gone. That's who I would love to see gone. I'm right there with you, Blue. I'd love to see that personally, but I think he's recognizing that everyone else is maybe, except for Matt's, leaning different direction towards Jag. So Jared's saying, I want her gone personally, but it is what it is. And he says, if I did do that, if America was gone, he says, I would have to then fix between me and Corey, because that's going to create issues as well. He said, I could do it. I could get it fixed between Corey and I, but certainly I have to be aware that could be the repercussion of sending America out the door. All right, we've got Cirie and Felicia talking. Cirie again saying it has to be Jag. That he has connections with everyone in this house, that's what worries her. Felicia is saying that Corey wants Jag to stay, but Cirie is saying that it's just because Red won't work with Corey, and that's why Corey is so bound and determined to get Red out the door. Well, that's certainly part of it. Corey wants people that he feels like he can work with, and Red's not it. But it's also a matter of if Red goes home, America doesn't go home. So keep that in mind as well. All right, we've got Cirie talking to Jag and Matt. Jag is saying that he wants to be a team player, but Cirie is telling Jag that, she's saying, look, here's the thing, Jag. I know you want to be a team player, and I'm all on board with that and everything, but she says you're only talking to certain people. You need to be talking to everyone in the alliance, and that includes Izzy. You need to go talk to Izzy. I hope y'all can hear me over these waves. If not, I'm sorry, I'll talk a little louder. You know I got a loud mouth, so I'll do what I can. But anyway, Izzy, Cirie saying, I get it, but you need to talk to everyone in the alliance. You need to talk to Izzy, make sure everyone is comfortable with Jag if you're going to make this work. And she's also saying, and you need to chill out. Cirie's a little irritated that Jag's been following, going everywhere, asking everyone about votes and questions and loyalty and all kinds of stuff. She's saying, you got to chill out a little bit, Jag. All right, Jag is gone. Cirie and Matt are still talking to one another. Cirie thinks that keeping Red and having Red in the jury would be good for both of them. So she wants to hold on to Jag, not just this week, but the next week, make sure that Red is in jury. So she's saying, having Red as a jury member, yeah, of course it's going to help you, Cirie. Red's going to worship you, unless you do them down and dirty, and then who knows, bitter jury and all that. But she's thinking that having Red in the house and in the jury would not be bad at all for her. Matt is saying, look, here's the thing. Once I win HOH, I'll put up Red and Jag. I assume he's talking about post-jury based on what Cirie just said. But he said, I'll get out Red and Jag, but America. Keep that in mind, Suri, America. Matt's reporting that Blue wants America up as well. He's not the only one that wants to see her gone. He's not a lone wolf, and so again, he's pushing the America angle here. All right, we've got Suri rehashing this conversation she just had with Matt, telling Felicia all about it, saying that Matt wants to keep Jag, and he's saying that Bowie and Red and Blue all want America to go up. And so basically, based on that, Suri and Felicia are now convinced that, Felicia especially is convinced that they're going to form an alliance, that this group, if they keep Jag, that Bowie and Red and Blue and Jag, they're all going to align together against Suri and Felicia and Izzy. And Suri at the end of this is saying, yeah, it could be Felicia. So again, anyone that's not working with you must be working against you, and that's Felicia's opinion at this point in time. All right, we got Cameron and Red plotting in the have-not room. Cameron is saying, look, without Jared competing, it's going to be 8 versus 3 on this HOH competition. He's basically thinking everyone's going to be competing against Suri and Izzy and Felicia. Everyone else is going to be on Cameron's side. He's saying that 8 versus 3, this next HOH, it really should be ours to win at this point, Matt. He said next week should be pretty easy. We're going to have 8 versus 3. It should be a cakewalk. We're going to make this happen. Cameron actually has a point. If Matt and Nicole and some of the others were truly on his side, if he had those powers, this would be a great time to strike at the 3 dominant players in this game right now, who in my opinion are Suri, Izzy, and Felicia. So Cameron's not wrong in the way he's adding up his numbers. His error is not understanding that some of the loyalties that he thinks he has are working with Suri and the others, and so he just doesn't have the numbers the way he thinks he does. But, grab a couple. Grab Corey in America. I don't know if you can grab Matt, but, he's on the right path. I just don't think it's going to work. All right. Matt is wondering why America is so upset with him. Well, I don't know. You keep trying to get her out. But Matt's wondering why America's so upset with him, and saying that he has a whole... I'll take that back. It's not Matt. Cameron. Cameron is wondering why America is so upset with him, and saying, look, I've got a whole list of targets before America. I don't know why she thinks I'm just coming right after her right now. Well, he did mention her name at one point, but it was much more to protect himself. I think it's more just that America feels like he's kind of two-faced, and she just doesn't like some of the things he said to her on a personal, non-gameplay-like level as well. So Cameron's wondering about that, saying, yeah, I'm not going after America anytime soon. Matt's playing dumb. He said, yeah, no one tells me anything. I don't know what's going on, Cameron. Who knows? I'm just here to observe, listen where I can, and no one's told me anything at all. All right, we've got Felicia telling her roommates, this is about 9:45 or so. She said, all right, 10, 15 minutes before bedtime, guys, get done what you need to get done. And yeah, Felicia really is the house marm, the house the house person keeping track, the house mom keeping track of everyone, making sure they're in bed in time. All right, we've got Jag and Blue in the hammock. Jared's talking about Felicia mad tripping, and that the 7 just needs to meet later and talk about this. We've got Jared and Blue and Felicia in the HOH room, waiting for the rest of the 7 alliance. All right, we've got Jared and Blue and Jag and Felicia in the HOH room, waiting for the rest of the 7 alliance to meet. Jag is telling Jared to tell everyone that Jag is rocking with them. Felicia's complaining that Matt's chess game is taking too long, and that she's tired. She's saying that mornings are much better for these meetings. Why don't they do stuff in the mornings? They're watching the monitor. Corey and Cameron are playing pool, and Jared is convinced that Cameron is a cop. He says at one point, Cameron said something about across state lines, and only cops talk like that, so he's convinced that Cameron's a cop. Meanwhile, we've got Izzy and Nicole in the hammock. Nicole isn't part of the 7, but Izzy is, so they're waiting on her. Not much game talk taking place between these two. But Suri is now in the HOH room also. They're just waiting for Izzy. They finally tell Jag, hey, Jag, go get Izzy. Bring her in here. So he goes out there. He hangs out for about 10 minutes or so with with Nicole and Izzy, comes back in and says, all right, Izzy's coming. Just give her a second or two. Felicia's saying, I'm only waiting 5 more minutes and we're calling this good. It's my bedtime. So she's not having any of this. Meanwhile, while we've got that, Jag is saying that he is 100% with the 7, that this is who he wants to work with. This is his spot. He's saying, yes, Cameron, in full honesty and full transparency, he said, Cameron chatted with me about working together, but I'm not considering that. I don't want you guys to think that just because I talked to him. That's not the case. He's apologizing, say if I ever gave off that vibe that I wanted to work with Cameron, I apologize because it's y'all guys. Y'all are who I want to work with. All right, Sari is saying that they needed this meeting because a lot of people have been having a lot of long conversations with people outside the alliance. Well, yeah, because there's so many alliances out there. Jared is saying that he isn't wasting his HOH on Bowie Jane this week. And Jag is saying, well, then, is it America or is it Red then? Because, yeah, obviously it's not Jag. He's in there meeting with them, right? So is it America or is it Red? Blue saying America said she'd put up Matt and Bowie and backdoor Cameron if that's the case. Matt saying, I don't want America here. I want America gone. That's who my vote is for. Jag is saying, well, okay, well, yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's just send America home, and the only person that's going to care is Corey. Jag's all on board with that plan. There's lots of talk about what Red would do if he stayed and won an HOH. Everyone's worried about that. Eventually, we've got, except maybe for Suri. Jag is now saying that America actually is kind of a big shield, perhaps, for us. So maybe we keep her and we send Red home out the door instead. Jag's okay with that as well. Jag's very much, as long as it's not me, guys, send out anyone else you want. I'm on board with it. So he said, yeah, let's save America as a shield. Send Red out the door. Well, it works for me. Felicia, though, is worried about Red and Cameron making up. So she's maybe thinking that America would be a shield as well and go ahead and go for Red. So I guess Red has to go. All right, we've got Felicia now saying everyone wants America as a shield based on this conversation, and that maybe Red is a valid option. Izzy and Jag are now agreeing with that as well. So is the tide turning back towards sending Red out the door? These flip-flopping, wishy-washy folks, back and forth, back and forth. So we do have that. So now the talk, all right, Red's going home. So now the talk is who's going to be the pawn? Izzy is saying that Bowie is easiest, but they could scare America by putting her on the block instead and putting her up. But if they do that, aren't they running a risk of alienating Corey even further? I just don't think you don't want to scare people that you're trying to keep close to you. But Izzy is mentioning that. Blue comes up with an interesting suggestion. She says, hey, Jag, you could be the pawn, so we don't have to worry about any of that. You could be the pawn. And Felicia said, hey, that isn't a bad idea at all. Well, Jag's immediately saying, yeah, no, I don't like that. I'm part of your alliance. I don't like that at all. And they give him some kind of thing about it protects Jared a little bit. That means that he doesn't have to put someone outside the alliance up that would come after Jared. So, you know, Jag, we know that you're not going to, you know that you're just a pawn. They may not realize that. So if you go up as a pawn, it works to everyone's advantage in this house, especially Jared's. And you don't have to worry about it. You're just a pawn. You're part of our alliance. We aren't going to send you home, right? Jag's not going to believe that, right? Well, let's talk about that. Because Jag immediately saying, they're not working with Bowie. Why not put her up? And that's when they did this song and dance about, yeah, no, that would then have Bowie coming after Jared. Well, we can't do that, Jag. So Izzy's saying it's not going to help Jared. Jag says, all right, well, I want to be a team player, right? So, okay, I'll volunteer. I volunteer as tribute. Jag has volunteered to go up on the block as a pawn to be the team player. Jag, your alliance has the majority, and yet they want an alliance member as a pawn, an alliance member who has already said that they don't ever talk to him about any decision-making whatsoever, and you're good with it. Alarm bells should be going off everywhere, and maybe they are, but Jag's not vocalizing it because Jag is saying, yeah, I'll be a team player. I volunteer as pawn. You're going to rue the day, Jag. Not as though you probably had a say in it anyway, but not going the way you think it's going to go. All right, we've got, after all of that conversation upstairs, we've got Corey talking to the cameras, talking to himself, one of his kind of soliloquy things. He is talking a little bit more, I think, about this argument he and Jared had by the pool table. He is saying that Jared is the worst, that he is condescending, that he's bad at the game, that he's acting like an expert. Corey speaking for all of us viewers, I absolutely believe. Corey, right on, my friend. All right, with that, we go back into the HOH room, the meeting of the 7. Jared's in the HOH room telling everyone that he made the big move of putting up the 2 biggest threats in the house. So, respect the guy who made the big move. All right, with that, the meeting starts to break up. People wandering out. Felicia's ready to call it a night. All right, finally, we've got Corey saying he can't understand the America hate, saying that he's going to throw this HOH. Kind of surprised me. He's going to throw this HOH in order to try to protect America. And I think what he's saying is that if he won the HOH, he doesn't know who he would nominate without creating enemies. That originally he would have backdoored Cameron, because that's not going to make anyone on the Cerise side of the house mad. But now he's realizing he probably needs to keep Cameron in this house in order to protect America and potentially to protect himself. His name certainly has been mentioned right there with America as well. So he's recognizing maybe Cameron, as much as America doesn't like him in a lot of ways, they may need to have his vote, have his powers as well. And so he doesn't want to be put in a position where he wins HOH, is expected, maybe forced to put up Cameron as well. He is saying he knows that Cameron would nominate him. It may be worth protecting Cameron. Corey's also saying that Felicia had said something, had slipped and said something to him and about something, and that he then told Izzy, who then told Cerie, and that's good. And I think what he's getting at is that Felicia said something to him that she shouldn't have, and he made sure it got back to Cerie because he's trying to drive a little bit of a wedge between Cerie and Izzy. So he's wanting to find someone like Cameron that'll go after them while also trying to break up that alliance a little bit. Corey is certainly thinking a few steps ahead in the way he's doing it. I'm not sure I agree throwing HOH is the best thing, because he's got to figure if he throws it, someone else is going to go after Cameron anyway. If you're going to take your shot, Corey, you may need to be taking it right now. I'm not sure you can afford to wait too much longer, but there you go. All right, we're going to wrap this up pretty quick because I know this is long. We've got Izzy and Corey and Cameron talking. They're all complaining about Cameron. Corey said that Cameron said he's like Corey's father. And then Corey then says, yeah, an absentee father who wants to sleep with my girl. Zing! And then Izzy says at one point, Izzy says, jumps right on it, says, yeah, I called it on day one. I said that Cameron was a serial killer. I stand by that. I forgot about that. From day one, Izzy and Cameron just weren't jiving with each other. So a lot of bad Cameron talking at this point. Eventually, Izzy leaves. Corey and America are snuggling in a hammock. Corey is saying he tried to save Jag, but he just couldn't get Cerie and Jared on board, so he kind of gave up trying to do it. He's saying Jag's on the way out. It certainly looks like that at this point in time. And America said, that's good. That's fine with me. Better him than me. Corey is saying, be careful of Red and Cameron, though, because they certainly are getting a lot of suspicion as well. The more you hang out with them, the more it looks rough for you as well. So be careful. We get Matt come out, visit with them for a little bit. No real talk whatsoever. Just non-game talk. America at one point says that she thought the plan was to send Red out the door, but now apparently it's changed yet again. But she's saying it's out of my hands. It's out of our hands. So whatever. She's saying, she does mention that whoever used the power to save Jag wasted it. Matt's saying, well, yeah, Jag or whoever used it, I guess they did waste it, but at least Jag got another week in the house, so that's good. At least he had a chance to do something, and he just messed it up, I guess. And then America asking if Jag knows that he's going home yet, and Matt saying, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he realizes it just yet. And with that, lights out by 1:30 or so. America and Corey are sharing a bed. I guess Cameron's over in the corner listening for sheet rustling or something. I don't know. I don't want to be thinking about that. But Corey and America sharing a bed. That's all they're doing. But that's it. Lights out about 2:30 or so. So there you have it, guys. Kind of a long conversation, but because there were a lot of long conversations had in that house yesterday and last night. But the end of it, Jag doesn't realize it. He's volunteered to be a pawn, but he's not a pawn. At least for right now, Jag is heading out the door. And then after that, Cameron back door next week. But Corey and America certainly are big targets as well, as is Bowie. It's just no one really cares about. No one wants to waste their HOH on Bowie. But all of those folks on that side better be a little bit careful. Guys, y'all have a fantastic Labor Day. I will be back tomorrow to give you a recap on what happened with the veto ceremony, which is taking place today. We'll see if there's any big changes taking place. Until tomorrow morning, though. Oh, and then tonight I'm doing my live feeds. Or not live feeds, my Cliff Notes live, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. Same YouTube channel. questions, opinions, thoughts. Come out there. We're going to chat back and forth. It's going to be a lot of fun. So either tonight or tomorrow morning. Until then, guys, y'all have a great one. SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye.